I'm Jessica.
Hi, and I'm David, and welcome to episode 7 of the Singer's Soapbox.
We are here live at Dynamic Fine Arts Academy, and we are sitting here on this gloomy Monday evening with a topic in mind in regards to all the hype with the coronavirus and the social distancing. We thought it would be important to talk about why it is essential to make music with others or make music together, and it's why it's so important for people. So
Yeah, so
kick us off.
one thing that's important about making music together is it helps us to build a sense of community. Whether you're singing in a choir together or playing in a band together, you're rehearsing with those individuals on a regular basis. You start to build relationships with each other, and it helps you grow, as a person, and those relationships start to build its own little community. So it's really nice.
Yeah, when you look at a community is a group of people that work and live and thrive together, kind of thing. And so, in regards to that, it's also kind of it's a team effort in a lot of ways. So making music as a community, when you're doing that, you're working as a team. You're creating that reliance upon each other, not just self-reliance. It is a certain aspect of independence there on your part, but also it's building each other up. It's coming together from all walks of life to make an incredible sound and to share it with other people. So you're not just reaching out to the group that you're making music with, you're also reaching out beyond that and to other people. It's not, music making is not just an innate self thing. It might do good things for yourself, but ultimately it's to be shared. There's a reason for it. So
yeah, and it, like you said, it gives us an opportunity to work as a team and build on team building skills, and that's something that a lot of employers look for these days. If you have a child that's in school, getting them involved in a musical group can help them build those team building skills and cooperation skills, learning to work with others towards a common goal. You get a lot of that in sports too, and it's no different in music. It's a team effort. It's something you have to bring your part to the group in order for the group to be
to prosper.
To be successful. And the other cool thing about taking part in a group activity like this is that you don't have to be an awesome musician necessarily to experience success. If you sing in a choir or play in a band, since you're relying on other musicians to make that final product, you have to give your all, of course, but you may experience a great performance that maybe you wouldn't have felt like you could have done on your own, but the whole group makes that possible, and you can be successful in that way.
Yeah, and I love the metaphor of we might all be single notes, but it takes all those single notes to make the symphony and to make it what it is. You can't have a symphony with just one person. It requires a lot of people, and it's really important that you come together and have that experience, because if you don't, you're really missing out on what it means to have music as a social aspect. And it's really an incredible thing that I just feel like scientists really can't put their fingers on, because it does a whole bunch of things in the brain all at once. It releases lots of endorphins. It just really, sometimes I would even venture to say that dopamine would play a role or a big role in that as well. It kind of makes your soul just hum and vibrate and just feel alive. And it's really not something that's really tangible. And I think that's what makes music so great in a lot of ways, is because it is something that you can't measure, you can't quantify. It's just, you feel it, and it's incredible. It's a really incredible feeling. I remember being in our college choir at Missouri State with the amazing Dr. Guy B. Webb. Sure do miss him. So if you're watching, Dr. Webb, we love you. But I just remember being in concert chorale and walking in, and we weren't all music majors, but we walked in and we were all together at that time and at that place every day for about 50 minutes, I guess it was. And we just came together and we just made this incredible sound. Like Dr. Webb really knew how to draw it out of us and really make us and shape us into musicians that we are today. But it was that experience of coming together. And then when we took it overseas or into the bigger concert venues and just being able to share that with other people, I mean, I remember one time, it was after I left, there was somebody that was telling me about when they went to Washington, D.C., and their concert was, it's an older lady came and approached them and said that their concert gave them hope for the future generations. And that right there, it's like, why? If you stop and think, like, why would they say that? Why else would they say that except that it was uplifting, it was inspiring, and that's the kind of stuff we need when we're, in the midst of this pandemic, and when, we might be scared and we might be, upset or angry, but that's really, you need to focus on the good. So making music together is really one of those things that can help.
Yeah, and there's probably every musician out there can remember a time in their life when they where they became a part of a group that they hadn't been a part of before, and you just have this moment of, it's like disbelief that you're producing the sounds that you are. Like you said, especially going into college, being a member of a group like that, and maybe it was your, if you were a musician the first time you were in your high school group, or whatever it is, just that experience of making music together there's no word, I can't think of anything that I could relate to that. It's just the neatest thing ever, that you can be able to do that. But we've been talking a little bit about the pandemic that's going on, and unfortunately we're in a position now where we're having to do this social distancing thing, and while that may be important for people's health, it's gonna put a damper on these kinds of activities. Right. So that's one of the reasons why we wanted to do this video today, is because we wanted to put a challenge out there to families to find some time to make music together. And it doesn't have to be anything great, as in, like this awesome performance like that you go to a concert. We're not talking about that.
An a cappella performance broadcasted all over Facebook Live.
Right, we're not talking about that. But in talking to older generations, there was a time, when people sang together.
Yeah.
They gathered together as a family, they sang together, they made music together, whatever that looked like. And I feel like that's something that's kind of lost. And I think this may be an opportunity for us in this situation to try to go back to that, to try to make something like that happen again, and have an experience as a family, and bring ourselves within our families closer together.
And that might require you to step outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you're like, oh, I don't have a good voice, so my kids are never going to have a good voice, or whoever you are, at whatever stage in life you are, it's going to require you to step outside your comfort zone. But in a sense, making music really, it does that anyway, and it requires you to participate in a way that maybe you're not used to. If you have a desk job and you sit there and you just, you're on your computer all day long, or you're writing, or maybe you're talking to the person in the next cubicle over, you're not singing to them, but really, so that's not going to be comfortable for you, but it's still important to do that. I mean, especially with younger children, because they need to know that it's okay to step outside their comfort zone and make that music, and it's all right to put yourself out there. I can't stress that enough. And that's kind of why we do our pre-K classes here. We're going to start those hopefully very soon, because it's important for kids to realize that making music is number one, it's a whole lot of fun. Number two, it's fun to make music with others. And number three, like, you have a voice and you can be heard too. And maybe it's not just by talking, it's by singing. And sometimes, you know, that's what people need to hear. And so even if you feel like you're not a really great singer, that's okay. Just sing anyway. Like, even if it means just turning on the radio, listening to your favorite song with your family, and dancing around the living room. Okay, that's fun. And whether you feel ridiculous doing it or not, it doesn't matter, because you're having a good time and you're keeping your spirits up and you're using music to do it, and that's really a cool thing. Yeah,
and so that was one thing I was going to ask you. You know, what are some things that families can do together, like activities that they can do together? And like you said, one of them, just sing with the radio. That's something that's easy to do. Music you're familiar with.
If you have young kids, you know, going back to the whole cliche of the pots and pans and a wooden spoon, you know, if you have really, really young kiddos, give them a pot and a pan and a wooden spoon and let them just beat away at it. And while they're doing it, maybe just chant a simple rhyme. If you don't feel comfortable singing, then just say a simple rhyme with them, like hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock, clock struck one, down he run, hickory dickory dock. And just do it with their tempo. So if they're like tapping and then they stop, you stop with them. So you start with them, you stop with them, go at their tempo. And I mean, that's something very simple you can do with the younger kids. Ask your older kids, get involved with them. I mean, I know sometimes it's really hard to talk to them and get them off of that cell phone, but like, ask them, what's their favorite song? How would you rewrite the lyrics to your favorite song? Or if you could rewrite the lyrics to any song, what would it be? You know, make a family music video, do a lip sync challenge, do some karaoke, have some fun. Just, you know, take this time. Don't sit around. Don't be stuck to your screen like you could be all day long at your job. Do something that's engaging and like have a good time. You know, you don't have to. This doesn't have to be boring. You know, we make the best of the situation that we're in. And if that's the situation we're in, then by golly, we're still gonna smile and we're still gonna have a good time.
Yep.
So. But yeah, like we said, we'd love to challenge you guys to come up with some activities, and if you could find something fun to do with your kids or with your family, or even just on your own, like submit a video or write a comment, make a post on this video and let us know what you did. We'd love to know, and we'd love to see what you're doing at home to keep your spirits up musically. So, or if you have questions for us, or there's something that you want to know more about, like things we've said in this video, make a comment, ask us questions. We have a whole lot of time on our hands because, you know, we're both school teachers, so I'm on spring break. You don't have spring break, unfortunately, but, you know, we might end up with
might get
break.
one here before long. Who knows?
Nobody knows. We're taking it moment by moment.
Yeah.
So hit us up. We have plenty of time to respond, and we will gladly respond to you in a timely manner and as soon as we can. So.
And if you are interested in taking private lessons, that would happen to be only 2 people gathering. So
yes,
if you are interested in taking private lessons, we are still available to do private lessons. So shoot us a message on here, or you can email us, or you can go to our website and fill out the lesson request form, and we can get you set up for that.
Follow us, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all things social media. We are probably there if it's there. So follow us, like us, subscribe, share everything you can.
Yep.
We need to get the word out. We would love to see more students coming in and, you know, keeping the spirits up musically. We can help you do that. So we are more than happy to oblige. So any questions, any comments, please feel free to share, like I said. Other than that, I hope you have a really great Monday.
Good night.